Hello, everyone, and this is Functional Training Zones podcast, The Uncommon Connector. And today we are speaking with Ernesta Mensah, and she is going to be telling us everything about the Los Angeles Film School. We're very, very excited to talk to her and can't wait to learn about her journey through film throughout the years.
There is no one else in creation like you. There's nobody like you. And what you've come to do and what you have to offer is like no other.
Ernesta, how are you doing today?
I'm doing very well. I'm here with you, so it's a good thing.
Thank you so much. We are so excited to hear and talk with you today. So first, tell us a little bit about your work and exactly what you do. We see that you work for the Los Angeles Film School, that beautiful banner behind you. But tell us a little bit about how you got started and what kind of work you do.
Sure. Actually, I got started a very, very long time ago. My background goes all the way to school when I studied radio, television, and film. It's always been a passion of mine. I mean, I was signing everyone's yearbooks in high school saying, "See you in Hollywood." That's what I was doing in high school. So when I got to college, of course, it was a journey. It was something out of high school. I really wanted to come to Los Angeles, but I had the kind of father that said, "No, you're going to go to school. So you're going to go to a traditional school. You're going to do this. You're going to do that." It was a part of the plan, so I did it. But it started there. From there, I moved out to Los Angeles. I literally went to my mother's house one day and I said, "I'm going to California." And she was like, "Well, you've been talking about it for a while. I know you're going." I said, "No, I'm going tonight." And I drove 26 hours by myself and I drove to California. I was ready. I leaped out on faith, and it is amazing the moment you get out of your head and you follow your heart, doors start opening, when it's for you. And I ended up working at Disney. I worked on 2 films at Disney. And it started going. I think the first thing I did, I acted in a DMX music video, Party Up video.
But I'm not him, Mike Slim, so watch what you do, or you gonna find yourself.
I was a reporter in that video. It started there, and I did a Chili's commercial. I ended up at Disney. I worked on 2 films in production. I ended up on Gilmore Girls. I'm acting and I'm doing everything that I wanted to do right here when I leaped out on faith. And so that's where the journey started. I ended up after Disney, when you work on a film, the film wraps, you're on another film. That's how it went until I kind of thought about what it was that I wanted to do. And ultimately, I wanted to do my own film. I got a call one day. Crazy. I guess my information was still with a headhunter when I was moving to California. So I still was getting calls about jobs. And I remember receiving this call saying, "Hey, we got a position here at the Los Angeles Film School for an admissions representative." I was like, "A school? Admissions? I have no idea what that is." And the person's talking to me saying, "Well, admissions representatives just kind of talk to students about going to get their dreams, really pursuing their dreams, talking to them, inspiring them, motivating them, telling them the products that we offer, and just telling them if this is something that you want, come and do it." And I said, "And it's an entertainment school?" I said, "Yeah, we have film, we have this." And I was like, "I'll come in for an interview." The rest is history. I've been with the Los Angeles Film School now for a little bit over 22 years. In 2014, 15, I wrote, directed, and executive produced my own film. I ended up getting my master's degree in creative writing. It, it just happened.
That is an awesome story. Okay, wait a second. We're going to have to back up a minute and start from the very beginning because there's a
Okay.
couple things that you mentioned that really, really excited me. One thing is you manifested this in high school.
I did.
So you knew what you wanted to do and you went for it, right? I mean, we hear a lot of stories of folks that go out to Hollywood with $25 in their pocket and they don't know what they're going to do, but somehow they become these great success stories, right? I feel like I'm now really talking to somebody that has this story, and we're going to dig deep into this because I want to know
Okay.
everything, how this happened. Okay, so you
Okay.
started out at a traditional 4-year college where?
So, my four-year college was a university called Sam Houston State University. It's in Huntsville, Texas. I'm originally from Houston, Texas. So it's about 45 minutes, an hour away. It started there. I will say that journey there, studying radio, television, and film, just kind of opened up even more of my passion, right? I forgot to mention the fact that after college, I was open for internships. I didn't care what it was, whether I was getting paid for it or not back then, because I wanted that experience. I was still in my probably junior year, getting ready to be senior year in college, and or last year, I guess I can say senior, but my last year in college. And I took an internship with KRIV Fox 26, and it's in the Fox affiliate television station. And I have to tell you, I bust my butt for a summer. I was not getting paid. I was doing whatever they needed me to do. I was working with associate producers. I was working on the news team. After that internship, they offered me a job. So out of college, I had a job at Fox 26. So I did do that before coming to California.
Wow. Okay, that's awesome. So we have a lot of younger folks that listen to this show and they're about to graduate college and they're scared and they don't know what to do and they don't have the experience and they don't have an internship and they're afraid. Like me, I had to, after college, I moved back home with my mom and I was living in the basement. What advice would you give that young person that wants to get into radio, television, and film, but they don't have any experience? They're a junior in college, they're about to graduate. What should that cover letter look like that they're sending out to radio stations in their area, right? Because they know that they're going to have to move back home. What should that cover letter say? What should it look like?
Well, first and foremost, you have to get rid of the fear. Okay, that's first and foremost. When this is a passion of yours, you're going after something you love. So you're going to fight for it. That's the first thing. Mindset is everything. And when you go in with this clear mindset that this is something that I want to do, my mother would tell me all the time, Ernesta is going to die trying. You're sure right. Because it's something that is my passion. And I was going to keep going and no one was going to tell me no. So the first thing is getting rid of that. Second thing is right out of college, before you even leave, start writing the things down that you want to do. Start creating, start manifesting that so that way you have some kind of, I guess you could say outline or a to-do list, so to speak, of what you want to do. Whether it's going to happen right now, that's irrelevant. Write it out. Write what you want to do. Those cover letters, first off, you have to kind of get an idea of where you want to be. So if it's a radio station, if it's a television station like me, number one, it kind of went through somebody to go. It was like 6 degrees of separation. If young people don't know what that means, it's like one person may know someone that may know this person that may be the person you need to know. Start introducing yourself to those people that may work in that radio station. Let's start with the radio station, or I'm sorry, a television station, since that's what I'm used to. First thing I did was find out who works there, who's on the news desk, who works for the kids department, who's in programming, who works as an associate producer on the shows. That's the first thing that I did. And that from there, I reach out to that person and say, hey, is this person available to speak? Of course, I didn't get them. I didn't. So I wrote a letter. I am a college student. I'm getting ready to graduate. I don't have the experience, but all I know is this is my passion. This is what I want to do. That cover letter should be a cover letter of passion, of love for what you do, and honesty. I'm ready to get into a position where I can learn. I'm ready to soak up whatever it is that you have. Please consider me for an internship, apprenticeship, whatever it may be, I'm there. Creating a connection with someone that works where you want to be. Okay, that's the first thing. These days, they have social media. They have the internet where they can go and just kind of see who this person is, what their email is. They have IMDb Pro. Subscribe to an IMDb Pro account. You will find out their manager's name, their name, what they do. You'll find out everything. Back then, for me, I didn't have anything but a television station, and I had to find out who the names were at that television station. These days, the information, it's a plethora of information. Utilize those resources. That cover letter should say, I'm a college student. I'm a hungry college student. I'm ready to learn, soak up whatever information that you have. I just need the opportunity. I hear that you're over the events department. I would like an apprenticeship, an internship. Tell me what I have to do to be a part of your organization. I'm open and ready. That's what that cover letter should be. It shouldn't be about, I don't have experience. They know you're a college student. They know you're struggling. I'm ready to get the experience that I need so I can get out into this industry.
Right. Now you mentioned something, IMDb Pro. What is that? So that our listeners know.
Oh, great question. So IMDb Pro is, first of all, imdb.com is the biggest database out there in entertainment. Anyone that you know, whether it's behind the scenes, in front of the camera, behind the camera, writers, producers, directors, anyone that you can think of, they'll be in that IMDb database if they've done anything. You can look up a name, you can look up a television station, you can look up a movie producer, a writer. You can look up anyone that has done anything in this industry, and it'll have all their information in there. If you subscribe, you can go to imdb.com right now and just look up anyone. But if you want the resources behind them, for example, I want to look up Halle Berry. I go to IMDb Pro, put in Halle Berry's name. I can see every movie she's done, every movie she's either directed, produced, written, every award she's ever received. I want Halle Berry's producer's name or manager's name so I can send something to Halle Berry. I would subscribe a little bit more and subscribe to an IMDb Pro account. From there, I can see Halle Berry's manager, her publicist, her style. Everyone will be in there. Now you have names, you have people that you can try to get at to send something to Halle Berry. That's what we have now these days.
Okay, wait a second. So I just want to make sure it's called IMDb Pro.
IMDb. So imdb.com gets you into IMDb. You can just go there right now and look up anyone. If you want to learn more about their information behind them, you would have to subscribe to an IMDb Pro account.
Makes sense. Thank you so much. I feel like that is super valuable to somebody that's trying to get into this field and wants to make these connections, but they just don't know how. So after you went to Sam Houston State University, what happened? And you're at the radio station. What happened then?
So after Sam Houston State, and I got the internship with the Fox affiliate. It's a television station, actually. And I ended up working for the assistant producers. She was an assistant producer, or I should say my role was assistant to the producers. And she worked on television shows. There was a kids programming show. So let's just say I did anything that I can do as an intern, right? Got the job as an assistant to the producers and started working at Fox. I ended up in the newsroom, and I was working in the newsroom. I was working teleprompter. I was working on the news desk. You name it, I did it. And I was with Fox for about 5 years after college.
Okay, and this is with a degree in radio, television, and film, not with a degree in journalism.
A degree in radio, television, and film. That internship.
It's amazing. That's an amazing story.
Yes, that internship got me into the door. And from the door, I was able to go in all different departments.
Oh, that's an amazing story. Okay, so now we're at Fox News. Like, just me saying that makes me feel like I'm there. Okay. Now we're at Fox News. And what happens?
I'm at Fox, and it's crazy because from being in the door at Fox 26 just created opportunity to meet people, to do things. Of course, there were celebrities coming in doing interviews. So it just was a beautiful, beautiful situation. I will tell you, while I was at Fox, there was an opportunity. One of the biggest medical facilities in the world is Baylor College of Medicine. It's in Houston, Texas. And they were branching off to do something called the Health Channel. So it was a channel, of course, Health Channel. And when you watch it as a patient or as a doctor, we offered patient education videos. We did continuing education with doctors. So basically what that meant, as a producer, you can produce patient education videos if you're diagnosed with something, let's say sickle cell. And instead of getting a pamphlet to say, this is what sickle cell is, we created patient education videos. So that opportunity came to me while I'm at Fox. Let's just say I'm doing 2 jobs now. I'm working as a producer at the Health Channel, and I'm still working for the Fox affiliate. So I ended up staying with the Health Channel for just a few years until they got bought out. And when they were bought out, that's when I made the decision. I can't continue to stay here in Houston. I love what I do, but like I said in the beginning, my passion is being in Hollywood. I want to be in movies. I want to act. I want to produce. I want to direct my own film one day. I gotta go. So the light bulb that went out, or, I guess I could just, I say light bulb, but it was God that said, now the Health Channel was bought out. You've been at the Fox television station for 5 years. It's time to go after what you love. When the Health Channel was bought out, I didn't want to go because they were moving to Canada, I think. I said, I'm not going. So give me my severance package. I'm going to California. And that's what I did. That's when I went to my mom's house and I said, I'm going to California. And she said, I know. I said, I'm going tonight.
That is an awesome story. Okay. So we drive to California.
Crying the whole way.
I'm
driving. Yes.
From Texas to California before. And when you said 26 hours, I just got flashbacks of like,
I got lost. Yes.
Nothing but truckers for miles. Those roads. I mean, it was definitely, and to do it by yourself. I was with someone, but to do it by yourself, like, hats off to you. Like, you got there and you made it, and it was,
yes,
you were
successful. And I didn't stop. Okay, so now, I didn't stop.
What?
I didn't stop. Didn't stop.
Adrenaline.
I listened. I remember that drive. I remember crying because, every doubt in your mind is going, what did you do? Every scared emotion, every thought of missing my family, everything. And I remember there was a song I put on. Young people, I don't know if you know the song, but you can Google it. It was by a singer named Guapale, and it was called Closer to My Dreams. And I listened to that song on repeat all the way to California. And I was crying and I was crying, but that song meant everything, Closer to My Dreams. And I just listened to it, and that's what got me motivated. Just keep going.
That's what, okay, great. So now, okay, so because now I'm vested. We get to California, and what happens? Are we sleeping on someone's couch for a week? Are we living in hotels? Did we have an apartment? You
Yes,
know,
yes. We did. We had a friend from that lived in California. I used to come to visit in California a lot, so that's when I knew
mhm.
this is where I wanted to be. I told you I knew that in high school, so I would come and visit, and I would go to Soul Train Awards, American Music Awards. We would stay busy. I was in a rap group too. Anyway, that's another story. Anyway, no, that was a long time. That was another story. Uh, So this friend, I told her, I said, I'm coming. And she would always say, yeah, right. You've been coming to California. Then you got the job and then you didn't come. I said, no, I'm really coming this time. And so before I left, I had her going, looking at houses, go look at this. And she was like, Ernesta, they're not going to give me this. You're not even here. And I said, this is the house. So she went to see a house and she said, oh, this is beautiful. But I don't think they're going to give it to us because you're not here. I said, give me the name. Give me the name of the guy that owns the house. And I remember his name was Bien, Bien, Bien. I never forget. And I called him and I did kind of what I just told you I did for Fox. I said, listen, I'm coming to California. I have a plan. I have this and I have that. And I had the severance package. So I said I would pay a little bit more for the down payment if I have to, but save this house. I'm coming. We got it. And so
Oh,
she moved in first.
great.
A friend of mine went and brought, my furniture and whatever I took, brought it ahead of me, and then I had a place. We had a place to stay when I got there.
Fantastic. Okay, so what was your first job in? So I'm assuming this is the LA area.
It is in Burbank, yes, Burbank,
Okay,
California, LA area, yes.
okay. So what was your first employment opportunity there? Were you still trying to get your footing? Did you waitress? Did you work at a library? What was your first opportunity?
I worked at Fox. I'm Fox, Disney. Fox is on my head.
Okay.
I worked at Disney. Um, I saw a position. And like I said, I had back then, you can have people helping you, put your resume forward to different places. They would call them headhunters back then. And it got to Disney and there was a position that I applied for. And I'm like, I'm here and I'm in California. And of course, it's something that I had applied for before I left, but they don't really take you seriously unless you're here in the area. So it hadn't been filled. I followed up and you're going to laugh. But the HR person ended up being in my sorority. She was a Delta. And and I got the call. She said, come in. And I learned that she was a Delta. And I was like, I'm a Delta. We went through this whole thing. And she said, I'm looking at your resume. I see that you've done this and you've interned and you're hungry and you drove from California. I said, yeah. I end up working on a live action movie. It was called Max Keeble's Big Move when it came out. And I worked in the production area. Yeah, that
That
was
is
my
an
first job.
amazing story.
Yeah, that was my
Okay.
first job.
So you're at Disney, and I mean, the way that you manifested this, the way that you brought it all together, although it seems like you did it a little bit, you were very, you just did it on a whim. You really planned this out. I mean, you did manifest it. You wrote it down. You did your research. You talked to people. You wrote letters. You drove out there. You actually did the work. You just didn't sit around and be like, oh, I really want to work at Disney. Why isn't it happening for me? Like you actually put in all of the work to make these things happen for you.
It's very important to do that. You have to be intentional. That brings me back to where people are in this day and age. If you're not intentional and you're not willing to do the work, you're just sitting back waiting for it to fall in your lap, and it's not going to happen. It's just not. So when you're intentional about something that you love, your passion, you're going to die trying to find it and get to it. And that's what I did. I was intentional. This is what I want. I don't know how it's going to happen. I don't know when it's going to happen. All I know is I got to take the steps and God will do the rest. But I got to make it, I got to not just manifest and just like, okay, now come down. No, now take the steps. And that's what
to
I did.
get that.
I didn't. Yeah.
Okay, so wait, because like I said, I'm invested. You're at Disney, and how many productions were you in while you had your tenure at Disney? I mean, how many movies were you in? What was your resume at Disney?
So Disney, you have to think when you're working on a production, on a film production, which I got. This was a live action. Again, the movie was called Max Keeble's Big Move. So it was set to you're filming, you're doing pre-production, production, and post, and then you're done. So during that entire time, I'm working to help make this film a great film. Uh, Working in production, I was whatever the unit production manager needed me to do, I did. Whether it was take a contract over to an actor's house to have them sign a day contract, whatever it was, that was me. So I worked on that film until it wrapped. You stick around for a little bit longer to close up everything, and then you're looking for your next gig. You know, that's how movies go. When you're on a film, you're there, you pre-production, post, production and post. Lucky if you stay so you can wrap up everything, and then you're looking for your next gig. Luckily for me, my next gig was right across the street of Disney at the ABC building. That's here in Burbank as well, and it was working on an animated movie. So I got there, and animation takes forever. It was going to be a long process, which was great, but I wanted something new. It was still a part of Disney, of course, the ABC building across the street, but I kind of stayed on that production for a while until I found something new. And I was like, yeah, I don't want to stay on this long. You know, live action was quick. Animation, that was going to last about 2 years. And being in California for the time that I was, I'm like, yeah, no, I'm ready to do something for me. That's when I got the call for LA Film School.
Okay. So wait, in this time, did you get any other education, right? So you're learning, you're getting on the job training, right? You're definitely getting training, learning new things, being just ingrained in this new position that you're in. But was there any other kind of education, formal education that you got, a master's degree, any other credentials, any other certifications along the way that helped you kind of maneuver through this process and where you wanted to be?
Well, at Disney, I was there based on the education that I already had. So, and working at the animated movie as well. So I had that, and then I was still learning. So those positions that I had put me in places, even though they were full-time positions, it put me in places to learn from executive producers, to learn from on a film set, all the different positions and what that is. Later, yes, I ended up, I love to write. Writing is my thing. And I would write short stories. I would write scripts. I had scripts that I had written, and people would read them and go, wow, this is amazing. You should shoot this. You should this. And something inside of me went, if people are loving what I'm doing, I want to get that piece of paper that say that I'm a writer. So yes, I did get my master's in creative writing.
Okay. And where did you go for your master's?
I did that at Full Sail University.
Okay. So now I know that Full Sail, I know of a Full Sail in Florida. Did you go,
Yes.
was that the campus in Florida? Was it a satellite school? Did you go down to Florida? Was it virtual?
Oh,
How did
great question. No, I did mine online. I got my creative writing degree online. I went to go graduate. I actually went when it was time for graduation. I did go to Florida and graduate in person, but I did mine online, my education online. Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for that. So, when you got the call for the Los Angeles Film School, for what position was it? How did that happen?
Yes, they called me, and again, my resume was out there still flirting around. So I got the call, and they said, we're looking for an admissions representative. And I was like, hmm, I didn't know what that was. I didn't know what that entailed. And I said, first of all, this is a school? They said, yeah, it's a school. It's an entertainment school. We have film and music. And it's like, okay, that intrigued me. And I said, but what is admissions representative for, what does that do? And said, really, all you're doing is telling people to go after their dreams. You're doing what you can to share what your story is for people like you who are scared to take that leap and tell them about the positions of the programs that we have here. If they're interested in film, if they're interested in music, this is the school to come to. And if you're ready to take that leap of faith, let's do it. Let's do it right now. I said, that's it? I was like, yeah, that's pretty much the gist of what you're going to do. And it intrigued me. Number one, it's an entertainment school. I grew up watching, schools that are full of entertainment, like Fame and all these schools. I'm like, wow, that sounds fun. And I was in between jobs where I'm like, let's try it. That was it. That was the start of something amazing. Amazing.
Now, how from you have been in this industry for a long time, how would you say the industry has changed from when you first started to now, in terms of AI, social media, to YouTube, a lot of folks that think that they can learn it themselves because I went to YouTube University or I Googled it or, I am a self-proclaimed, you don't know this about me, but I am an MD because I Google everything. And like anytime there's something, so I am one of those patients that when I go to the doctor, I'm like, well, I've already Googled it. These are all my symptoms. This is what it looks like. This is this is that. I drive doctors crazy. But I'm sure you get a lot of individuals like me that come to you and like, hey, I know about the film industry. I Googled it. I went to YouTube University. I did this. I did that. Like, how has that shaped the industry and people that you come across?
I do receive in the position that I'm in now. Of course, I've gone through the ranks at the LA Film School, and now I'm the vice president of international and high school outreach. And I get that question a lot. And the first thing I go is, how is that working out for you?
Right. I'm not a doctor.
I'm saying to students, oh, I can learn. I got it. How is that working out for you? Yes. So, and you get, yes, in your case too, like, wow, you have to have a foundation. Listen, it has changed. The world has changed from when I was in it, when I started, from AI to, AI is like now, but I'm saying just internet and the information you can get, the YouTube universities, the TikTok. Yes, it's all changed. It's all gotten to a place where there's more, but it doesn't take away from the foundation of where you need to start. Yes, I can go out and get a camera and think that I'm Martin Scorsese or whoever, Spike Lee. And if I don't know the foundation of that camera, how it works, the lighting, the sound, how do I, the boom mic, if I don't have that foundation, it's going to be a crap film. It just is. So I am a firm believer is of starting from the basics. And yes, you have all that. It's accessible. This person did it. This person did it. Awesome. But there is still an element of learning that you got to get. And that's the problem with, and I'm not going to say the problem. That's a lot of what I see in this generation is microwavable. You want it right now. Right now, give it to me right now. I don't want to have to do the work. I don't want to have to do all that. I just want it right now. Give me on YouTube. Give me a 1-minute piece that I can watch, and then I'm going to go get a camera and I'm going to shoot. Good luck. Let's see what happens with that film. So I believe in the element of learning and the basics. And here's the thing, I'll use the Los Angeles Film School as an example. You're not only learning the foundation and the basics, you're also meeting some people that work in the industry. You already have a segue in because you're meeting these instructors that have done it, that are doing it. You're actually meeting people that are coming in. We have Netflix. We have these people that come in and sit on a panel. You're meeting them. let me give you just a quick example of what happened that blew my mind. Get Out, the movie Get Out. When it came out, Jordan Peele, actually, no. It hadn't even come out yet. And Jordan Peele came to our school and he did a panel for the entire school in our theater. He sat down, he talked about his journey, his life, and he showed us Get Out. Get Out wasn't scheduled to come out for another day or two. And we watched it. And he stayed and he talked about his psyche for doing this film. The students were like, where did this come from? How did you this? How did that? He stayed and he talked and he talked. Do you know what that does for a student? The next time that they see him, I met you at the Los Angeles Film. Oh my God, yes. Here's my information. I'm struggling. I'm trying to get out in this industry. And there you were. There's something that you can relate. You don't have to just walk up to Jordan Peele and go, oh my God, Jordan Peele. You have something that you can connect with. You were at the Los Angeles Film School. You told us about your what was going on through your mind about Get Out. Can I ask you a quick question? You got an instant ally right there because you met him at the Los Angeles Film School. That doesn't just happen while you sit at home and learn on YouTube.
You're absolutely right. It doesn't.
It just doesn't.
Right.
So it's not just about the education. It's about everything that goes on in the world of a school like ours to help you get to that next level.
Right. What would you say is your biggest success factor in everything that you've accomplished? From working at the radio station, at, Fox 5, your accomplishments in, the medical industry in terms of creating those films for individuals that needed help, with learning what what they needed with their medical health, and driving to California, working for Disney. What would you say is your biggest accomplishment? I mean, now being the VP at the Los Angeles Film School.
Wow. That's a great question. My biggest accomplishment was leaping out on faith, because none of those things would have happened. None of it. Not Fox 26, not Disney, not Gilmore Girls, not writing and directing my own film, not getting my master's in creative writing. None of it wouldn't have happened if I hadn't said, I got to go try. That is where I can just say, God was on my side but I leaped out on faith to allow for these things to happen. That to me was the biggest accomplishment, because none of it would have happened without that. None of it.
Now, you say writing and directing your own film. Tell me a little bit about that, because I've had young people come up to me and say, oh, you guys run a podcast. I write and direct film. I write my own script, and I have a film that I have on paper, but I just don't know what to do. What is the process? If somebody says, hey, I've written a film and I want to get it on film. I've written a script. I've written a story, right? I've written my book, my autobiography, and now I want to get it on film. What do I do? I don't know. Tell me, what was your process like in writing and directing, and how do I mentor somebody if they come to me and ask me what to do in that process?
Well, I will say mine was motivated by a contest. I had already written, I shared with you earlier, I had written scripts, short films, poems. I just like to write. I can go out for a day and come back and just write a little short story about what happened in the day. So I'd already done that, but what motivated me was a contest. Ava DuVernay, Regina King, Gina Prince Blythewood. There was a plethora of women that was behind this particular contest. And it was brought to me. Someone says, yo, there's a contest and your favorites are in it. They're going to be the judges. I said, what? They brought it to me and we had absolutely no time. By the time they brought it to me, it was almost over. You had to get this in as soon as possible. And the concept of the contest was to describe in 15 minutes or less something that you wouldn't normally see in movie theaters, something that's outside of the box. It could be make you think, make you cringe, but something 15 minutes or less that you don't normally see. I couldn't think of anything. And then I was like, and how in the world am I going to film this? I don't have equipment. I don't have anybody. But the person that brought it to me said, if you want to do it, I'm going to find some people and we're going to do it. We're going to help you shoot it. I couldn't think of anything. And one day I watched the news, which I don't normally do. News is just no. But I ended up watching the news and it was about a story. You probably remember this. It was a long time ago. And a young man committed suicide for being bullied on social media for being gay. And he committed suicide. And it spoke to me and it hurt. And I'm looking at the parents and I was like, I got it. I wrote this script in probably 20 minutes. And I sent it to the person who's a location scout. I sent it to her. I said, this is what I wrote. It's called Taboo. And she said, we're shooting it. I'm getting ready to get this and I'm going to get that, And we just literally found people that wanted to do it for the love of this contest. And I'll tell you right now, I don't know how this happened, but we put it on. There's a script thing that you put out there to get so you can do casting. So people can say, oh, I want to audition for this. And a young lady who was in Broadway, she was a dancer. And she was a dancer on Broadway and doing these different shows, traveling. She wasn't in New York. She was traveling with this play. And she said, and I've always wanted to act. And this is a great script. I want to audition for the lead. And I gave it to her. And we shot that thing. And it was the most beautiful piece. The sad thing is we didn't get it off to the contest in time. I cried all day. We worked so hard. And the person that got it to me, what she didn't see is it was due in by 12 something, but it was East Coast time, not Pacific time. So we missed it. But when I tell you, I cried, I got it out. But all of those people that worked, so when I showed that final piece that we did and we rushed it, and to see what we did in that amount of time, it was priceless.
Amazing.
You got to put yourself in a situation where you meet the people that believe in you as much as you believe in you. That's first. Because that one person will say, okay, what do we have to do? Do we have to go get a camera? We have to go this, you have to go this. You have to find and surround yourself with people that believe in you as much as you do. Because they'll help you make it happen. I didn't have a camera. I don't know editors. Anything. But we got that film made.
That is an awesome story. And that is something that I always try to drive home when I'm talking to people, is surround yourself with people that are doing the same thing as you, or push you to be a better person. My mom used to say this to me all the time when I was in high school and in college. You can't soar like an eagle if you're surrounded by pigeons. And I'm not saying that you're surrounding yourself with people that are less than you, but surround yourself with people that have the same interests that you do, that think the same way that you do, that want to do the same things that you do. And collectively, what you can bring together and complete together is amazing. And I think that that's what your story is really telling. One thing I do want to ask you, and I guess this is just a bit of me being like a bit of a movie buff myself, but who else have you met besides Jordan Peele, or maybe have interviewed working in the film industry?
Oh gosh. Wow. Let's see. The young people, I don't know if they'll know these names, but guess what? They can go to imdb.com and Google these names. I have met people like MC Light, Macy Gray, Angela Bassett, uh, Kendrick Lamar, uh, Usher, wow, I've met so many people, and some have come up to the Kendrick Lamar. I actually happened to come to the LA Film School when we did a college campus tour on a Saturday. Once a month, we have this thing called a college campus tour where you can come in and just take a tour of our campus. And lo and behold, he comes up with, I think it was a cousin or someone he knew that was interested in our animation department program. And we're like, it's Kendrick Lamar. And I was the one. Everyone else was like, oh my God, we don't want to go over there and talk to him. And I had to show these students, listen, this is where you go wrong. These are people just like us.
Right.
And you have to have the confidence and the love of yourself to know, if I'm going to go up here, if I'm in this industry and I'm meeting people, why can't I go over here and have a conversation with this man? Why? Because he's Kendrick Lamar. So I told him, I said, watch this. And I went over to him. I said, hi, I'm Ernesta Mensah. I'm the vice president at the time I was the vice president of admissions. Thank you for being here. What brought you by?
Right.
And he's there. His girlfriend is there at the time. I think it's his wife now. I'm not sure. And he said, wow, you're the what? I said, I'm the VP of admissions. And what brings you by? And he took my hand. He's like, it's great to see you, a woman of color. Yeah. And I said, well, thank you very much. What brings you by? Here he is now into me. And I'm like, what brings you by? And he tells me, and he says that you have an amazing campus. And it just was a beautiful thing. I said, here's my card. If ever you want to come back, let me know if you need anything. And it was beautiful. We took a picture. And I said, enjoy the rest of your time here. There's so much more to see. So have a good time.
That is an awesome story. Thank you for that. So again, just surrounding yourself, being in the right place at the right time, and surrounding yourself with with individuals that have kind of the same drive, the same motivation, the same goals that you do, puts you in a place, for success. Where do you see
Absolutely.
this industry growing in the future? I mean, this industry is so big. And like we say, it has branched off into so many different fields, right? I'm aging us a little bit, but when you and I started, there really wasn't the internet, right? If you had a computer in your household, we're like, wow, you have a computer. But now everyone has all these resources kind of at their fingertips. Where do you see this industry going in the future?
Wow. I mean, it goes back to just where I started. When you asked me where I started, and to see where it is from there shows me that even where we are right here, later on down the line, it's going to be a lot more. The evolution is going to just get bigger as far as I can see. Yes, we now in the world of AI, we're now in the world where someone can go on TikTok and create something as small as watching a fireplace every day. That's what you post, is yourself watching a fireplace, and you get millions of viewers because people just like the solitude of going on their phone and just watch a fireplace. Like it's amazing how this world is now. So in the future, I see it just growing even more. You got the AI. Right now, and what I'm working on, not to talk too much about it because I can't, but verticals are now happening where people don't really have the time or want the time to watch something full length. If they're traveling, where it started in China or a lot of the Asian countries, where they're creating verticals, which means you have to get on a train and you have 1 minute and 30 seconds to watch something. That's what they're doing now, verticals, where you watch on your phone something that only lasts 1 minute and 30 seconds or 2 minutes tops. And you can swipe and go to the next episode and watch that 1 minute and 30 and swipe and watch the next episode.
Oh, now I get it.
Swipe
Okay.
and watch the next episode. And then you're at your destination. And then when you get back on the train to go home, you can finish it. And then it's done. And you watch the whole series in less than 1 minute and 30 seconds each. I see that world booming. They're talking about it now. I just see it advancing even more than what we have now, just taking it to new levels. Every
Mm.
day the industry changes, as far as I'm concerned. It feels like every day, every month, something new. There are going to be different cameras that are do high tech things more than what they're doing now. So you got to study your craft. You got to be ready. You got to be.
What advice would you give someone just starting out in this field? If I were 19 years old and I'm a sophomore and I'm in college and I go to Houston State University and I'm going for radio, television, and film.
Study your craft. Find out in that what it is that you really, really want to do. Because I'm a firm believer when you find out what it is you truly, truly want to do in your heart, then you got to find out how to get paid to do it every day. Right? That's how I feel. You find out what it is you love. So many people are on jobs that they hate. So many people are like, I got to go to this job. Once you find that thing that you love and you would enjoy doing every single day, now let's figure out how to get paid for it. And what, for me, speaking to someone that's right out of college or getting ready to get out of college, once you find that thing, start researching it. Start researching where that thing is. Let's say, for example, it's filmmaking. I want to be a filmmaker. Okay, what kind of filmmaker? I love cameras, so I want to study cinematography. Great. Now, cinematography is now that thing that you're yearning for and you loving. That's that thing now. Now you start learning cameras. You start learning the cameras that are out there. Start doing the research. Now you buy magazines. Maybe it's American Cinematography, which is a magazine. Maybe you start subscribing to that to learn what's going on. Then you start looking at cinematography prop houses and saying, hey, do you need someone to come and answer the phones? Or are you looking for an intern? Then you start doing that. And you get yourself inside of one of those prop houses where cameras are, you're surrounded by cameras. Then you start asking to be on people's productions when they come in and rent cameras. Hey, do you need anybody? You need anybody to learn? Because I want to help be an assistant on the cameras. I'll help with lenses, with props, whatever you need. It goes from there. It takes a journey. And I promise you, you will get to that thing once you start doing that work. If you're in college right now going, now I don't know what to do, and I want to be a cinematographer, you're already counting yourself out. You're not doing the work. You're not doing the work. Start doing the work. I want to be a cinematographer. I'm going to write it down. This is where I want to, ultimately, I want to be a cinematographer on these kind of films. Write it down. Write it down. Now start doing the work. Internet is huge. You can Google anything. Prop houses near me. Go to that prop house. Start talking to people. You got to leap and you got to start being intentional. Intentional means go and make it happen. It's not going to fall on your lap.
Now, tell me about the LA Film School, because in my mind, I have to get my undergrad at a 4-year university and then I can go to film school. Or is film school something that I go to right out of high school? How does the LA Film School work? How does the application process work? How does admissions work? Like, I just can't grasp it.
Great question. No, you do not have to go to a 4-year university before you come to the Los Angeles Film School. You can have a high school diploma or GED to start your education at the Los Angeles Film School. Now, I go back to being intentional. Once you find out there's a Los Angeles Film School opportunity, you start thinking about what it is you really want to do. We have tons of programs: film, music production, audio production, animation, entertainment business. We have online programs, writing for film and television, media communications. Once you find out what it is you want to do, then you start researching. You go on lafilm.edu. And you look up the programs, you look up the curriculum, the things that you'll learn. Make sure that that's what you want to do. Go on our website, request information. It's that simple. I'm ready to learn more about writing for film and television. Our online people will call you and say, what do you need to know? I'm here to assist you. We are a college. Let me put that out there. We are a college. We offer associate's degrees and bachelor degrees. So you can come to our school right out of high school if you're ready. Again, this isn't no place for the faint or I'm thinking I might, it could be, oh, I like watching movies. No, 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 no. You gotta know, you gotta want to make them. And so once you decide this is what I want to do, and this is what I see myself doing for the rest of my life, that's when you make that call. That's when you go to our website, you request information. The first thing that happens is that admission specialists will call you. Say, I see you're interested in animation. Let's get you started. Do you have any questions? Let's talk about our animation program. So you're going to get everything that you need to know. Then they may say, come in, take a tour. I want you to see yourself in this on this campus. I want you to feel this energy that is around you. Next step. I'm ready. This is what I want to do. I can't see myself doing anything else. What's the application process? Go online, fill out the application. It's that simple. We take in a new class every month, so you don't have to wait like a traditional school. Another thing about us in a traditional school, you can start when you're ready. You don't have to wait till fall or spring. You start when you're ready. Every month we take in a new class. Once you start the application process, you're also starting financial aid process. Just like any traditional school, you'll go through you fill out your FAFSA, and you'll have a financial aid advisor that'll walk you through the process. We don't have or try not to have red tape for those people that are ready. That's the key. You got to be ready and not just, I want this as a hobby. No, this is a career. Get ready for this as a career.
Great. Now, does LA Film School offer dormitory, like the traditional, like some four-year colleges offer dorming, housing, things like that? I don't know.
Great question. Great question. We do not offer dorms. One thing that is about us, students come on campus, they're in class, and then they're going home or going to their apartment. So we do have people that want to move in closer. If they're in California, they want to move in closer. We offer those resources. We do have people that'll help with resources, give you information with things that are around the campus. If you're open to sharing with another student, we try to have that as a option as well. Those that are coming from out of state, we even have international students that are coming here. They get here, they don't even have the opportunity to come in and look for an apartment. So they come here, they're in a hotel or Airbnb until they find an apartment or share with another student, and then boom, we make it happen. So we do offer assistance to help you with those resources, but we do not have dorms. Great question.
Okay. Thank you very much. So as we're going through this process of applying, you did mention that there is the IMD.com as a professional association. Are there any other kind of professional associations that folks can be a part of to kind of help them learn more about the industry and kind of what's going on?
IMDb, great resource. There are, for me, I'm a part of SAG-AFTRA. So I'm always, you had to be a part of the union to be a part of SAG-AFTRA, but there are a lot of other unions. There are DGA for directors. There's unions for camera operators. So there's research. I would say research those things because it's easy to, researching what you love, I would say. So if it's the Directors Guild, and you're not going to be a part of the Directors Guild yet because it's you start going to events that they have because they have those events for everybody. Start going to screenwriters, their workshops, there are things out there for screenwriters. Some of them are free. Go take a class online, learn screenwriting. The information is out there. It's just seeking it. It's just going online and say, hey, I want to get a part of the cameras union one day. How do I do that? Boom, it's right there. There are magazines, American Cinematographer. There's so many things that you can do to just keep your brain going and keep your interest level going, and just be inspired. I love going to movies, but these days I love watching movies, and I will go down a rabbit hole where I watch the movie, then I'll watch the behind the scenes, then I'll watch the movie again. Oh, I didn't catch that. Did you catch that? That happened, that the glass was half full and now it's full. I will go just to broaden my, when I'm the scope of filmmaking and how sometimes mistakes happen or whatever, I will watch the behind the scenes. Then I'm going to go and learn about those actors, especially if it's an actor that I love. I loved the movie The Woman King. I want to know why did they make that movie? Why did it take those years to make this movie a reality? Then I get to Viola Davis, who's the talent in there. Now I want to read about what she thought of movie. You gotta engulf yourself in your love for your whatever that passion is. Make it who you are. Make it a part of your lifestyle. Every day, I want to learn something. Once a day, I want to learn something new about my craft. Once a day. I don't care if it's 15 minutes, 20 minutes, or an hour. Once a day, I'm going to devote to learning something new.
What would you tell your 15, what would you tell yourself 15 years ago? I was going to say your 15-year-old self, but yourself 15 years ago. If you could go back in time, you seem to live without regret, without reservation. I love that. I love this conversation because you are really telling young people, not just young people, but anybody, hey, you have to, you have to learn your craft. You have to do what you want to do. You have to manifest it. You can't just sit around and wait for things to happen. You have to do it. But if you could go back 15 years, what would you tell yourself?
Wow. I would probably tell myself to get ready for the no's. And the no's just get you closer to a yes. There was many no's along the way. There were many, heck, that script that I wrote that we so eagerly wanted to get into this contest, that was a no. It didn't even make it. He worked so hard, Ernesta, and everybody, and I felt that I let everybody down that rallied around my film, and then we still missed the deadline. It's okay. The no's are going to happen. It's just setting you up for a yes later. You know what happened after that is one of my favorite people that was a part of that contest. Her name was Regina King, is Regina King. And she's an actress. She's been around so long. I ended up being at a party where she was. And I walked over to her and I said, it's a reason why I'm meeting you. I have to tell you this story. And I told her what happened. And she said, well, the contest is over, but I'm still here. Send me the script. Send me the film. What? But there was a setup that I had to get that no so I can meet her so she can just watch it on her own. It's okay. The no's are going to come. Don't let those no's deter you from your vision. The no's are there. It's a setup. It's okay. So I would tell myself that because I used to beat myself up like, God, there goes another no. Maybe this isn't meant to be. There goes another no. This person has let me down. There's another one. You know what? I just give up. That moment you give up, that's going to be the moment that the yes is coming. Be okay with the no's. Welcome them.
That's some really good advice. My mom used to tell me, all of your failures are going to be the building blocks that bring you closer to the sun. And I was like, what does she mean? Closer to the sun? Where am I going? Why am I getting to the sun? But all of, as you're building up your exterior, as you're building up all the calluses, all the no's, right? It's making you harder so that when you get to the yes, you're like, oh my God, it feels so great up here. I feel good.
And
all of those.
You also appreciate it. Like all those no's, when that yes come, you won't be like, yeah. If you had all the yeses, you wouldn't appreciate it. You're like, what did I fight for? Those no's are fighting. I'm going to trust the journey. I'm going to trust the journey. No, I'm going to trust there's a yes. Oh my God. Every award show, every presentation speech you hear from somebody, it came with sacrifice. I am so happy to be in this moment. I used to sit and watch this moment. I used to do this. Y'all don't know what I've been through to get to this moment. If it were easy, everybody would be doing it. It's only for the strong.
Why are platforms like functional training zones so important to young adults?
Knowledge, motivation, inspiration, to see someone that may look like you, or to see someone that may have the same path that you have, that may have the same parents that you have, that was like, oh no, I don't believe in this entertainment. It is a platform to say you can. Even though you're seeing other things to have this, there's someone saying you can. That's important. You know, I had to learn that because I didn't. Like I said, my dad is Ghanaian, and he's like, you don't know. I'm not going to let you go to California. You know, it was just no, you know, for him, it was, you get a college education, you get a master's, you get a PhD, you study business, you study law, you study doctor. So I get it. I know where it came from, but I couldn't stay in it with him. I had to just try. So have a platform like this. It tells people you're not alone. You're not by yourself. I get it. But here's what you can do to make it happen. Here's what you can do to get to your next journey. That's why this is important.
Lastly, this is my last question, I promise. How can listeners get in contact with you, get in contact with your organization if they're interested in film, radio, television? You know, how do they get in contact with the LA Film School and, you know, just learn, okay, this is really what I want to do, and how do I do it?
Absolutely. So, wow, I'll give you two. Follow me on Instagram. I started my own in this new role as Vice President of International and High School Outreach. I have a Instagram just under Ernesta LA Film. Ernesta LA Film. At Ernesta LA Film on Instagram. Reach out to me, follow me, DM me, and I will answer every question. And then go to lafilm.edu. lafilm.edu and click on the information, click on the interest, learn the programs that we have. You can even go in there and look at all of our alumni students that have gone on to do amazing things. We're very proud of our graduates. Go in there and look and see who's done it, who went through what you're trying to go through, and look at where they are now. Some of my favorite people.
That is awesome. Thank you so much. Because I think that, well, for individuals like me, I grew up on the East Coast, and I hear of the LA Film School. I'm even saying the LA Film School because that is what I've heard it called. And to me, it was just so far-fetched, so far-reaching. I've learned so many things today. It is a 2-year or a 4-year college. It is a regular college. They do take financial aid, FAFSA. And you can start at any time. So those are 3 really, really important things that I learned today, just in speaking to you for an hour, that have helped me. Information that I can pass on to somebody else that's interested in pursuing a career in film. So thank you very much, Ernesta. I love this story. I loved meeting you. And I hope one day to come out to California and meet you in person. This was awesome. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. You're very welcome. Thank you for having me.
With the Uncommon Connector on Functional Training Zone. Thank you, everybody.
Bye-bye.
The most valuable commodity I know of is information. Wouldn't you agree?
I don't even know what that means.
No one knows what it means, but it's provocative.
No, it's not.
It gets the people going.
No.
It's your boy JR dropping them beats.